80,000 miles. Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. So, it is an absolutely gorgeous day here in Northern Illinois. It's bright and sunny out, just some wispy clouds in the sky, 72 degrees Fahrenheit outside. It is a beautiful, perfect day. No wind, no chance for rain. Absolutely gorgeous. So this is a video that I've been looking forward to doing for some time. Now, I have done mileage updates on this car. I don't know if it's been every 10,000 miles, but I've been doing roughly 10,000 mile updates throughout the ownership experience of this car. So what's different at 80,000 miles? Well, 10,000 more miles than 70,000. I don't know. There are a few things that I want to point out. I know that 100,000 miles is a very round number, and I expect to be at 100,000 miles by the end of summer and fall sometime. But here's the thing. For me, it seems like most of my cars, I put a lot of miles on cars, and for some reason, I have this mental thing that 80,000 miles is a major milestone. And so I wanted to walk you guys through a few things about this car so that you can get a better feel for what the ownership experience has been like, and should you or should you not invest in a Tesla, specifically a Model 3. That's what I'm driving. So this car has not been perfect. It's not been totally problem-free, and I've covered little issues that I've had with the car in previous videos, but I'll give you a quick rundown. I had a couple minor assembly, factory assembly issues that Tesla covered under warranty. I had a couple panels, fender versus the frame, that had scuffed a tiny bit of paint off, and there was just a little bitty spot of rust, so they took the fender off and sanded down to bare metal and primed and painted and color blended, and just did a beautiful repair on that and realigned the body. I've had upper control arm that was making a creaking sound. This is a known issue, driver's side. This is a known issue with Model 3s. I obtained that control arm and replaced it myself in my driveway. I'm currently missing small amount of paint on the front edge of the rocker panels on both sides, driver and passenger side, from road blast coming up from the front tires. So I have to correct that. I've been run into by a couple of people. Let's see here. I currently have a rubber drive unit mount that is bad, kind of like a front wheel drive car. If you've got a bad upper engine mount and you let off and floor it, you get a clunking sound when that rubber upper engine mount goes bad. Same type of thing with the drive unit at the back of my car. That I have to have done. I had an appointment set up for it, but then the coronavirus kicked in and quarantine and all that, so we're rescheduling that. Probably within the next month I'll have that done. I was quoted $459 to correct that. So those are some of the niggling issues that I've had with the car. I've worn out a couple sets of tires. Brakes, I haven't done any brake work, wheel bearings, anything like that. The car, there's no creaks or squeaks or rattles. You may hear some sounds like that in my car, but that's just because I use this car for work. My back seat has my toolbox and appliance parts and service equipment and that. On the passenger seat here is my clipboard, my cell phone. I've got stuff on the floor. I mean, I use my car for work. So if you hear any sounds, it's not the car, it's just stuff in the car. But the interior is solid. Road noise, wind noise, all that is extremely minimal. The doors open and close real snug. There's no looseness there or alignment issues. My Scan My Tesla app shows that I still have anywhere from 72.3 to 72.8 kilowatt hours of capacity left in the pack. I know that's not perfectly accurate, but it gives you guys a rough idea. So I'm what would that be? Maybe 5% battery capacity loss over that 80,000 miles of ownership of the car, which is better than I assumed. Most Teslas, if you look at the at the graph. Ben from Teslanomics has shown this graph a couple times. Now this is primarily with Model S's, and I know the Model 3 has a more modern cell chemistry, but with the Model S's anyway, typically you lose 5% of your battery capacity in the first 50,000 miles, and then you lose 1 to 2% over the next 50,000 miles. Well, I've lost 4%, 5%, something like that over 80,000 miles. So pretty good, pretty good. You know, take that as you will. I have had a number of electronic glitches, screen glitches and that. Those are getting fewer and fewer with each software update, so that's a blessing. There's really not much about the car that I am really unhappy with at all. I obviously replaced my dashboard with a carbon fiber dash. I got that from RPM Tesla. I designed and manufacture my own adjustable screen mount kits. There's a link in the description below, but I wasn't very pleased with the position of the screen, and so I made my own kit to change the position of the screen, just personal preference. Mounted my work tablet down here underneath my main screen, just so I can check email and whatnot in between service calls. But I mean, those are really preference things. As far as being truly unhappy with the car, there's not much. There's not much. I would love a 360-degree camera. You know, first world problem, I guess. I really am not as big a fan of the extremely minimalistic interior as many other people are. I understand it. I can appreciate it, but I prefer a more stylized dash. But again, personal preference. As far as just things about the car that I would change that aren't merely personal preference, you know, I don't know. I mean, for the size car that this is, it's extremely efficient. I'm at 238 watt hours per mile average over the ownership experience of the car. It's gone through 2 winters. I'm in northern Illinois, so we have winters. I currently have 20-inch wheels and tires on it. The car has I've probably put 25,000 miles on the stock 18-inch Aero wheels and tires. And then the remaining 55 or so thousand miles have been on my 20-inch wheels and tires. So the bulk of my miles have been with 20-inch wheels and tires, which are, and they are not, the rear tires are wider than the fronts. They're 10-inch wide at the rear. The stock width is 8.5. So I have the least efficient, really, wheel and tire setup that you would ever want to put on this car. And I drive it through winters, and I'm still at 238 watt hours per mile. I would say 2/3 of my driving is 50 miles per hour or under, and 1/3 would be over 50. But I'm an efficient driver, so that's part of it. I do floor the car occasionally, but for the most part, I'm an efficient driver. So better efficiency would always be welcome, but I don't know how you're supposed to achieve that. This car is already crazy efficient. The stereo is amazing. I mean, amazing. I'd say the seats are comfortable, at least for my body shape. It came with really crappy floor mats. I would change that, but that's so easy to change on your own that I hesitate to mention it. I love the glass roof, but admittedly, part of the reason that I'm a sunglasses guy in my videos is because even though it's tinted and, you know, there's heat and UV protection on it, you still do get some heat coming through and some glare. In fact, I've taken to doing this with the visor to block the sun at times because it'll be coming through, right through and hitting me in the eyes. So I would love maybe a sliding screen. Our Mini Cooper with the sunroof, it has a opening sunroof in the front, glass roof in the back, and it's got a sliding shade for both the front and rear glass. That would be it would be not hard for Tesla to add, and I think it would add a lot to the car. So that's one thing I would do, would be that a sliding shade. Let me think here. What else? I mean, seriously, not a lot. I don't like the look of the steering wheel. Those of you that have been around for a while know that I've made my own cut top, flat bottom, kind of roadster style steering wheels. I still have a couple of them in my shop. I just haven't, I don't know, I switch back and forth between them, but I find the steering wheel to be unattractive. I mean, there's little things like that, but from a functional standpoint, this car is so amazingly incredible. I mean, I can't even, it's hard to put into words how pleased I am with it. We have a this is a 2018 long-range rear-wheel drive Model 3. It's an early one, VIN number 9300 and something. We also have a 2019 BMW M240i convertible X-Drive, which is all-wheel drive. It's an M performance car. It's loaded. I got to tell you, this car is more advanced than that high-end BMW. The BMW is a more expensive car. It's a year newer. It's a convertible. It's all-wheel drive. This is a better car. So we only have that car because it's a convertible, but this is actually a better car. When I get out of this car and get in the BMW and drive it, it's beautiful because it's top down and all that, but it's like, oh, isn't this quaint? I get used to the BMW and get back in this thing, and it's like, ah, my goodness, the future is here. So I can't say enough good about it. I have been openly vocal about complaining about problems that Model 3s have, and I stand behind that. They're not perfect. Tesla is not a perfect company. Elon Musk is far from a perfect human being, and this is not a perfect product. That being said, though, it is it's absolutely ridiculously amazing how good Tesla has been able to make vehicles, considering the brevity of time that they've been in the automotive market. They started with just the first-gen Roadster, which, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section, but I believe they only made 2,600 of those cars or thereabouts. Then they moved to the Model S, which had its teething problems, but they dove headfirst into the deep end of the pool with that car. A full-size luxury car that can seat up to 7 people if you've got the optional seats in the back, and hatchback and the full screen, and just wow. For a first attempt at a mass market car, I mean, they hit a grand slam, hit the ball out of the stadium, out of the county. Amazing. And then they moved to the Model 3, which from just a pure individual component advancement perspective is an order of magnitude even better than the first gen S. And I know the S has continued improvement, but this is an absolutely amazing car, and the Model Y steps it up even further. So Tesla is really on their game. I mean, it is great. I guess all of these things to say that I couldn't be happier with this car. The battery degradation is very minimal. The reliability is incredible. Oh, the charging network, the supercharging. I rarely address the supercharging network in my videos, but gotta tell you, that's a complete game changer. Complete game changer. We own 3 EVs. We own our Smart Electric Drive, our Mini Cooper Electric that we just bought brand new a couple months ago, and then the Tesla Model 3. I'm sold on EVs. I also have quite a few electric bicycles. I build a lot of electric propulsion vehicles, lightweight vehicles in my shop. I'm all about electric propulsion. However, the ability to charge on the road is what sets Tesla apart. And I know that you could, we could even travel with our Mini Cooper if we want. That car's rated at 110 miles of range. It's about 125 though in real world. I mean, using the AC or the heat, driving at highway speeds, it's about a 125 mile range car. You could travel in it. There are DC quick chargers. It's a CCS charge capable car. But a couple of things. First, and this is the big one, is, well, no, I'll say this. First would be charger availability. Tesla superchargers are very evenly spaced through their marketplaces. And you can just be assured that the next supercharger is going to be a specific distance away. Even if you've not traveled that area, they're every so often in approximation to each other. So that's great. With the CCS chargers, you never know. You could have 2 in one town and then nothing for 150 miles. And you're not going to make it to the next one. You have to be real careful how you plot it. Item number 2 is reliability. Those superchargers can be non-functional, and I've run into that before. Generally, they do function, and it's rare for a supercharger station to have just a couple of stalls. There's usually 8, 12, 16 stalls. So if you find that there's one plug isn't working, you just move to the next stall and charge there, which I've had to do once. So whereas with CCS chargers, oftentimes there's only one at that location and their reliability is spotty. So one day I'd love to do a video taking the Mini Cooper on maybe a 300-mile road trip or something where I've got to stop a couple times to charge and give you guys a feel for what that's like and the anxiety related to it and whatnot. So but you can travel state to state in a non-Tesla, but I got to tell you, traveling state to state in a Tesla is you don't worry about it. You don't even think about it. You just know when you get to the next supercharger, you're going to be able to charge. You can see how many stalls are taken on the app, and you know, well, it's 16 stalls, 4 stalls are taken, there's 12 available. If you plug into one and it's not working, which is rare, but it can happen, but if you plug into one and it's not working, you move over to another one. Big deal. I've had more gas pumps not work than I've had Tesla charging stations not work, although I've been driving gas cars longer, but you get my point on that, though. Gas pumps cannot work as well. So, but traveling in a Tesla, number one, the range is so far that you only need to stop every several hours for a half hour or whatever to charge, and you know there's going to be a charger there. The navigation routes you through them, and you know you can trust that it's going to work. So, I mean, this car is, if I were to have only one car, this would be it. It wouldn't be a Model S, they're more expensive. It wouldn't be our Mini Cooper. I love that car, but to only own one car, this would be it. It's more expensive than our Mini Cooper, but it's a lot more car, and I can travel anywhere I want without worrying at all about charging. I'm not going to run out of a charge in one day. The Mini, I'm going to run out of charge in a day if I'm really using it a lot. Like, I couldn't use that car for work because I drive too many miles. So this car, as far as bang for the buck, what you get per dollar, I truly believe that the Model 3 is the best car in the world, actually probably by a wide margin. Second, maybe to the Model Y. The Model Y is a little bit more expensive than the Model 3 if you compare feature to feature, but it's more cars. So I'll say it this way: the Model 3/Model Y, best cars in the world if you just take all the categories on average. Just, I mean, no question about it. So that is my 80,000 mile update on the car. I'm sure you guys are going to flood me with questions in the comment section below. Let me know if there's anything specific that you'd like to see in the car. I had somebody in the community tab mention doing a full range test, charge it all the way up to 100 and drive it till it won't move anymore, and then recharge the car and get a true battery capacity and all that. That's kind of a big test. I do this part-time. This isn't my job, so I don't know when I'll be able to do that test. But if there's other things that you guys want me to do, if it's doable within just a few hour time, shoot the video and edit it, I'm more than happy to do so. So anyway, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I really do appreciate it. I know that the Model Y videos are dominating YouTube right now in the Tesla community, and I totally get it. So I am very, very grateful for all the views that I do get on the videos that I'm continuing to put out for you guys, and the videos will continue. Also, as a side note, today my 16-year-old son goes in to get his license. He's been driving on his permit for the last almost year now, but I've shot videos with him before, but he's actually going in to get his license. The coronavirus had shut down the Department of Motor Vehicles in our area, so we'll see if the line is too long or they didn't bring enough piece of information with them. There may be reasons why he doesn't get his license today, but he's going in to get it today, so I'm really thrilled about that. Excited to have 3 licensed drivers in EVs, so all 3 EVs can be out at the same time on the road, and I'm really excited to see that as a part of our family. So thanks for tuning in, guys. You have yourselves a wonderful day, and as always, stay charged. Thanks, everyone.